Hey everyone, so my name is Rayhan. I'm joined with Professor Coughlin, who is a professor at the Department of Computer Science. And then I'm joined with Jack Rogerson and Caleb, who are both with C4 at Clark University. And today, basically, this is a shameless plug to convince you guys to major in computer science. And so some of the facts of why you might consider majoring in computer science. So 9 of the 10 best jobs offered in the US are related to computer science, according to Glassdoor, which is a pretty authentic source. According to code.org, we've got like this STEM problem, which is basically we don't have enough computer science majors than we have jobs in computer science. So the new openings in the STEM field for jobs are, so 67% are computer science jobs, and we've only got like 11 people who are actually majoring computer science out of STEM majors. Even though 54% of the people who are like actually going to college and taking computer science courses actually enjoy the courses. And as you can see, 40% computer science students make 40% more than the average college graduate. So why major in computer science? Last year alone, we had like 500,000 openings in computer science, and we only had 64,000 graduates to fill those positions. So there's a lot of computer science openings, which you guys can hopefully fill if you guys major in computer science. It is also reported to have the second highest starting expected salary, according to National Association of Colleges and Employers. The average computer science starting salary right now is $102,000. So it's a major really you guys might want to consider. It's a recession-proof jobs. So if you guys major in computer science, you've got fields like automation, AI, basically a lot of fields, and companies are desperate to hire in these fields. So you guys might want to consider majoring in computer science. Between 2012 and 2021, there is expected to be a 12% to 37% increase in computer science openings. So yeah. Computer science, often when people look at computer science, they often think that it's devoid of creation. I think that's not necessarily true. And a great way to put it is that a computer science major, for them, the computer is their canvas, and their programming languages and their IDEs are their paintbrushes and colors. And basically, like everything you do, if you download music on your phone, you make a purchase on your phone. Anything related to your phone or smartphones or computers, computer scientists probably program that stuff. You can take Facebook, for example, Snapchat, all the social media that's connecting people in the world. They were all made by computer scientists. Computer science also drives a positive change in the world. So people are using computer science to advance studies in human genome, tracking of vital aid vaccines, and environmental monitoring, just protection by using security cameras. I'm sure you guys have heard of Doorbell, which is basically like a camera which you guys have outside your door. And just studies show that computing can really help change the world. Some of the positive social impacts on society by computer science majors is they've helped improve communications, just like I mentioned. You've got Snapchat, you've got Instagram, you've got Facebook, and all those kind of stuff. You've got immediate access to information. So if like I wanted to pull out information regarding you guys from the Clark database, I probably could. So you guys have immediate access to information, and data is really something that's driving change in today's world. You can really there's a lot of stuff you can do. You can work remotely because most of your stuff is going to be related to computers and coding. You can help in making previously existing solutions more efficient. So maybe something to consider would be even automating the restaurant industry, because there's like a 7 million job gap in that industry too. And there's like very well-paying jobs in computer science, yeah. And so I'm going to hand it off to Professor Coughlin to just tell you guys about computer science at Clark University.
Yes, so computer science at Clark is more than just numbers, theory, and algorithms, right? Our students excel outside of the classroom, meaning that they attend programming contests, hackathons, and other activities. They are conducting research, right? So those are all extracurricular activities that are just helping improving your resume, right? So they most of the time come back from those competitions with prizes, and the reason why they win prizes is because they know how to work in a team. As instructors, we are trying to encourage working in a team. We have semester-long projects where you can collaborate with each other, and we also have different problem sets where you can work with a partner, right? All of that for you to learn those soft skills, right? Because you need to be able to manage those conflicts, right? So you might have divergent opinions. You need to kind of find the middle ground and move forward to achieve the goals, right? So when you go to a competition, you'll meet new people. They might have different backgrounds, right? Different ideas, and we are trying to encourage that teamwork at Clark, so that way when you go outside in the industry or in a competition, you know how to win prizes. Also, an advantage would be the small classes, which are usually capped at 24 students per class, which just gives you a better opportunity to develop like great relationships with your professors. That way your professors get to know you personally, right? They know what your desires are, what you want to do in the future, so therefore they can offer a better tailored advice, right? And right, why study computer science at Clark University? First of all, at the end of your academic journey, you will get a Bachelor of Arts degree, which is extremely valuable and can help you get the position you want, right, in the company you want. Also, we are offering majors and minors in both computer science and data science, right? And the entire program is extremely flexible, allowing you to double major. In fact, we have a high ratio of students who are double majoring in computer science and something else, right? Also, the program is designed to help students solve complex challenges across a range of fields. So for example, if you're interested in some other fields like biology or economics or something like that, you can pretty much learn the skills and the tools from computer science and then apply them in the area of your interest, right? So that's totally possible. Also, the program develops some foundation in theory and practical applications while teaching you how computer science can improve humanity. So that means you are not just writing code for the sole purpose of, I don't know, finding how many odd integers you have in an array. You're writing meaningful code that impacts the others and can change the world. Okay? So also the program gives you a chance to explore, right? So we had many examples of students who came to Clark with some original intentions, trying to major, for example, in management, right? After taking one computer science class, they just decided they want to pursue this career as well. And with only 13 courses that you need to major in computer science, you pretty much have that flexibility to explore computer science and also the field that is of interest to you, right? So again, you get to experience the full liberal arts experience we have here at Clark. You can either double major, right, computer science and math, or computer science and political science, right? Even though there are two distinct fields, you still have that ability to succeed, right? So you can also do a major with one minor or two minors. So this is my personal example. I majored in computer science with a double minor in management and data science, right? So you can explore all those other fields if you want. Again, the highlight here is that even if you have other interests aside from computer science, you can still major in computer science and explore those. So after you graduate from Clark, you pretty much have two big options. You either go in the industry, right, and you work for a company, or you apply for a graduate program, right, master's or PhD. So during their undergrad career, students at Clark often intern at big tech companies or big financial companies or other big companies in general. And most of the times those internships transform into actual full-time positions. So we have successful stories of alumni who are working at LinkedIn, Amazon, Meta, Google, Dell, and so on, State Street, Goldman Sachs, NASDAQ, and so on. Also, if you want to take the other path and continue your studies, you can go to graduate programs. And again, here a big part of your resume would be the research experience, which you can kind of get at Clark. So you can also conduct research at Clark, and then you can add that on your resume. So when you are applying to big schools, that's gonna be a plus, right? So we have students who graduated from Clark and then they went to prestigious universities like Brown, Johns Hopkins, BU, Columbia, Cornell, Carnegie Mellon, and so on. Right, and we have different courses that you need to take in order to major, right? So we have the introductory courses, which pretty much help you get familiar with fundamental concepts. Then we have the core courses that are designed to cover the essential topics needed for success in the field. And then we have the 200 level courses, which pretty much help you get a better understanding of what's going on in the industry, and then you can focus on a particular area that attracts you. So this is the sequence of classes you need to take in order to major in computer science, right? We have 2 introductory courses along with a math course. So we have CS 120, Introduction to Computing, and 121, Data Structures, together with Math 114, which is discrete mathematics. Then we have 2 calculus courses. You can take either Math 120 or Math 124. And the second semester, you can take Math 121 or Math 125, right? The difference is that one is just normal calc, the other one is honors calc. Okay, then we have 4 core courses, which are 140, assembly language and computer organization, 170, analysis of programming languages, 160, which is algorithms, and 180, which is automata theory, right? After that, you only need to take 4 200 level courses. Again, we are gonna offer more than 4, so you have a wide range to choose whatever interests you. And again, those will help you to kind of focus and narrow down your future career, right? You need to get experience in a particular field. Okay.
So Kaplan, I have a quick clarification.
Yes.
So it's Math 114 or CS 122. I see my students here, so they you don't have to take Math 114.
Oh, yeah.
CS
Oh, yeah.
122. Yeah.
Okay.
CS version.
Okay. Alrighty. So Caleb and I are going to take you kind of through the journey of, I guess, our student perspective of our time at Clark in CS. So the first point we want to cover is the faculty here at Clark. We both had great experiences with all of the faculty here. The faculty, they're great, they're caring, they want you to succeed. So that's the first, great component. And one of the special things about Clark, which is definitely one of the reasons that I'm standing where I am today, the class sizes and the faculty actually know who you are and they care about you. There's no question that you're here, you are a name and you're not a number. That's always kind of the way I like to describe it. So the faculty wants you to succeed. They have great research interests, they're known researchers, they publish papers, happy to have students on board to do research projects, things of that nature. So really it's a great opportunity to get involved with the faculty and work on projects in the department. Like the site says, small department. So more of that concept of here we are, we're all in this room today kind of talking about what we're doing. People can come up to talk to you. You can make deep connections with the faculty, the other students. So we try and have a real community centered around kind of what we do here. So we, as it says, we're a small college with the quality of a big university, and I truly believe that when you look at the slides and the placements of where we get people into in terms of jobs, internships, graduate schools, things of that nature, we get those people out there and we so-called land them in positions they want to be in. So faculty, fantastic part of the department. Then more on the kind of the research side of things. So each professor kind of publishes a little bit about kind of what they're interested in and what they do research in and how there's opportunities to get involved and work with them for that. So a couple examples of some projects here that have been done in the past. Again, kind of going over this way, you get involved, get hands-on experience, you get to add things to your resume, your CV, so that's great.
Right, so you can also research projects outside of the classwork, and you can follow interests that, you can do directed studies that are pretty much projects that count as credit, but you can work on a startup or an open source project. You pretty much work with a professor, and they advise the process, and you just meet with them and present at the end of that, and that counts as a credit. You can also work as a TA or a computer lab like sysadmin, and that's a really great way to make some money and get involved in the department. And you can participate in hackathons. those are pretty much dead right now. They're all virtual, but you can still compete in them and do that with Clark. So, and then student clubs, there are many computer science clubs such as C4, which is hosting this, and TIE, which is also hosting this. So, yeah.
One thing in particular we want to draw attention to as well, when you compare other bigger programs in terms of numbers, one of the great things that Clark lets you do is you have the opportunity to TA in the classes you've taken. That's something you don't really see at bigger schools. So both Caleb and I, we've been TAs before in courses. It gives you the opportunity to really learn how to explain things to other people. I can confidently say there's no question learning how to explain things to people has made me 100 times better at interviewing. Knowing how to write the code is one thing, knowing how to explain it to other people and have them understand it is a totally different ballgame. So that's been a hugely beneficial experience to be able to TA in the department. To draw attention to the system administrator aspect and some other components, like we can throw ITS at Clark in there too. You get hands-on experience where you're working on actual tools that are going to be used in industry. You're able to see, what does it look like when we set up and manage a Moodle server or something like that, for example. So there's really great opportunities to get in, work on stuff that you're going to be doing in internships, in jobs outside of Clark. So fantastic access for outside the classroom. And of course, it all looks great on a resume too.
Yeah, and the research projects too. I forgot to mention that you can do research with professors, and that's a great way to gain your skill set.
Great. So here we have a little bit of info on some of the more student research and projects that you can do. So as we've kind of been saying along the road here, faculty members can serve as mentors for these projects. We see things such as honors theses. We have interdisciplinary research with other departments. I know that's something that is also great about Clark. You have the opportunity to not just be purely computer science. You can collaborate, say if you want to go and do bio research and then utilize your computer science abilities in there. That's something we've seen before. You can do advanced research in terms of course topics or capstones. So that's a great opportunity to, again, get involved in what you want to get out of the major in itself, which again gets more into the student self-designed projects. That's really, however far you want to take it, you have the opportunity to at Clark. Opportunity is one of my favorite words for describing this department. The ability to do all of this, it's opportunity that you don't see at other programs that we offer here. So I'm a huge fan of the Clark, the computer science department, for that.
Right, so we also have a number of clubs, as I mentioned earlier. We've got TIE, which stands for Clark Center of Technology, Innovation, and Entrepreneurship. So, a few years ago, they did a lot of hackathons and things like that, but now they're getting more involved in other opportunities. So C4, it stands for Clark Competitive Coding Club, and right now we're mainly hosting events like this, but we also plan to do some competitive coding, so like leak code type things in competitions. So and we've got ACM chapter, which is a great way to get involved. And do you have anything to add?
That's pretty good. So we kind of going off of the kind of the club aspect of this, we also have the opportunity to get involved and attend conferences. So while the conferences mainly originate from information the faculty get, there's a whole bunch of opportunities depending on what you want to do with computer science and then some of your background as well. So that's something that you can work with faculty for as well. And of course, there's members in some of these student organizations and clubs who will be happy to share experiences about how these conferences and things of that nature go. So kind of drawing on that community aspect here of, we're the one thing that's great about the student population at Clark is we really are here to support each other. There's no question that we want everybody else to succeed. It's we want to see success in the classroom. We want to see success in internships and external opportunities to Clark. So
that's another thing we've got going for us.
Right. So there are lots of like parts of the industry that you can get involved in outside of school after you graduate. So the main one would be computer programming. That's probably the most popular one. But we also have telecommunication systems, you know, scientific and engineering, business operating systems, and there are lots of like web network engineering. So the list goes on, but pretty much you can do anything related to software engineering, related to computer science. There's so many different ways you can get involved. Do you have anything to add?
And one of the great thing when you look at this list and see all the things on here, the great thing is Clark has a lot of these things covered in 200 level courses. So one, I'll pick off the list right here, web design. We have a course, 200 level course in web design. We have a course on software engineering. We have a course on database administration and database management systems. There's a software development course. So you have the opportunity to get in and really see what some of these aspects are and kind of learn, what do you want to do? I still joke, maybe I don't even know what I want to do when I get out. I know I want to do computer science, but what I want to pick for my career, that's why I'm so happy to have the experience to get all of these different 200 levels that are offered and just kind of see what's out there. So with that, we'd be happy to answer any questions or comments. And we probably want to take the opportunity real quick to say, one of the things we're looking for is to reassure prospective students that declaring your major in computer science it's basically beneficial for everybody involved. One thing it specifically gets us is the ability to get more faculty and resources for the department. So that's one of the reasons that we basically ask, if you think you want to be a major in computer science, or if you know you want to be a major in computer science, we would ask that you consider declaring the major, finding an advisor, which every faculty here who is an advisor is more than happy to agree to that role. So, but anyway, yeah, we'll open it up to questions.
What's a good way to start looking for internships from through Clark or through any that you guys know of?
Yeah, so Evan Hoffman, I'm not sure if you know him, but he graduated last year. He actually developed a web app for finding internships, and it's very helpful. So maybe we can send out a link afterwards or something, but pretty much it's a hand-curated list of all these internships that you can apply to, and the rate of getting into each internship is more than if you use LinkedIn, because he handpicks them in really effective ways. So yeah, and also you want to build up your resume, so working on side projects, doing research, even contributing to open source, that's a big one. You can do all those things to gain your skills and put those projects on your resume. That'll help.
And then you can meet me after the event for the website as well. I can give you the website too.
I just want to say Dalasha is here, and she's the vice president of TIE. So Dalasha, you want to say something about the resources you have developed for students with their credentials and the event this Saturday?
Yeah, sure. So TIE basically hosts a lot of events that are around career development, from exploring where you want to be, which role you want to be in, to how to apply and how to land with a job, and then it goes on to how you ace the interview as well. We have many resources on our website where you can go through one by one the application, every step in the application process as well, which I'd be happy to give you after this event. This Saturday, we're having an event called Utilizing LinkedIn, where we're going to talk about all the ins and outs of how you can utilize LinkedIn to land a job and grow your network, both in and out of Clark. So I think that would be a great way to get started with your job search as well.
Also, starting from Wednesday next week, we are going to start practicing programming challenges. So we are going to use LeetCode to get a receipt for. We are going to organize those practice sessions. It's going to be Wednesday afternoon, and it's going to be 1 hour and a half. where you can come and then we just work together, solve problems, and you get that experience that you will need during the interview, right? Because if you're applying for a technical position, you'll have a technical interview. So in that way, you know how to optimize your solution, how to provide better efficiency, and so on. So if you want, you can also attend those sessions.
Does anyone have any other questions regarding computer science or computer science at Clark? Yes.
How easy is it to do computer science alongside like having a job and being in other kinds of clubs on campus? Because I know the two intro classes are relatively time consuming.
So Jack's actually doing everything that you mentioned, so I think he can do that to answer this question.
You're gonna call me out like that now? I mean, it's doable. I guess I live that example, so to speak. So, but I guess if you want examples of what I do, so I'm a computer science major with a management minor. So I find the time to do all the necessary courses I need to do, balance the work outside of that, and then I have other kind of components in there. So I'm the president of C4 along with Caleb here. So we get to work on like the leak coding events that we've been talking about, co-hosting events like this. There's also I also work with ITS and do system administration with the department. So in terms of the time, I kind of consider those kind of similar things where you're able to have somewhat flexible schedules for that. But that was a really long way of saying it's definitely possible to double major or major and minor and do TAing or participate in clubs, things of that nature. You can definitely do it.
And also you can let your faculty professor knows that you are involved in these. I'm not saying they will give you extra time for homework, but at least they can be aware of that.
Yeah, so like you mentioned the research, so what does the research entail in the computer science? Because I know like in the natural sciences it's pretty obvious when someone says research what they're researching. So what does research entail in computer science and how do we go about that?
Peter, you can ask that question.
Yeah, I'd be happy to give some examples. So, I mean, there's all kinds of research, but I'll speak from my own experience. So, for my PhD, I did a lot of user studies. So, designing an experiment, and it would be built using a web survey. So, we'd recruit people from an online crowdsourcing platform to take the survey. And then there would be different treatment conditions. So, in some conditions, they would see some information. Other conditions, they see other information. And we would follow up and see whether that affected their behavior. So that's a very common type of experimental design in computer science. There's other things you can do too. So for this summer, I'm working on designing a study of how password managers work with websites. So a password manager is a good way to remember your passwords, help you have stronger passwords. But a lot of websites don't work with them properly. So you might get locked out of your account or something like that. So for this study, I'm going to be working with some students to gather data to measure that. Well, how well do password managers work on a lot of different websites, focusing on some of the maybe less popular websites, maybe local banks and things like that. Yeah, does that answer the question?
And if I may add to that, if you are taking some classes, you can talk to the professor too about the project they are working on. And if it interests you, how you can work with them. So that is also, that will also help you. Like me also, I've been working this summer though. I work in network security and computer networks. And primarily I'll be working with data. One of the projects I'll be working on is if ITS can provide me the network traffic into the Clark University. I worked on a project before my previous school in which we developed the tools to visualize how, where are the communications with UL, which continent is communicating with UL, which country is communicating with UL, and we can characterize that for network application. So I want to adapt that to Clark University network too, but I'm waiting for them to provide me the network traffic log. So those are the information, and other professors also have their own projects too, so you can talk to them.
Probably worth mentioning too, you can take a stroll through the department hallway and there'll be a bunch of posters up that go over some previous research that's been done by other faculty who have worked on projects for probably the past 10 years or so up around.
Another good way to see what's going on is looking at the faculty's websites. So usually you have a link of papers, so if you read the little abstract at the start of the paper, that should give you a good idea.
Awesome. If there are no more questions, I'd like to give the podium to Dilasha and Evelyn to just give you guys a brief introduction about the data science program as well.
Hi, everybody.
Plug in or use that or?
Yeah. Could I, we're doing, use this?
Yes, that's working.
So this?
Yes, that's fine.
Thank you so much. So, okay, I just want to take this opportunity to follow up on, I think, Jeff's comments about declaring your major and a minor. So next week is actually the deadline for the department to submit positions for more faculty. And the university is finalizing the course planning for the fall. So if you're interested in computer science, you think you can declare now. We strongly encourage you to declare today. We have forms in the front. You know, all the professors here will be more than happy to sign your form. It's very easy to do. And later, if you change your mind, you want to add a major, you want to change your major, it's very easy to do. But if you declare your major now, we can add your form to the, send your form to the registrar's office, then the with the more majors and minors, that can help you kind of build a stronger case for more courses, more faculty, and more resources. So it's a win-win situation for all of us. So please consider declaring your major today, essentially.
And to just build off of that, you guys would also be included in the majors and minors list. So you guys would be getting emails on like the opportunities that are like coming our way, or like events that we'll be having. So it's like, yeah, it's a win-win situation for everybody.
Yeah, we really need the student support on this. We need the students' major and minor numbers should go up. And the alumni, they're working on alumni association, so they will provide networking and mentoring opportunities to the majors and the minors. So please consider joining our community. Thank you.
Hi everybody, my name is Evelyn. This is my friend Dilasha. Yes, we're both, I'm a recent computer science graduate. You graduated this year, right? Yes. And we're both the tech and administrative assistants of the data science program here at Clark. So first of all, I want to give a shout out to my friends and peers that did a fantastic job, and I wholeheartedly agree with everything that they said about the department. It's really true. One of the many reasons why I decided to stay is because Clark really has a thriving community. And one of the things that really fascinated me by being here was that I did not have any experience whatsoever with computer science or numbers whatsoever before I came to Clark. And I was really fascinated by the fact that we have a really diverse community with students from all over the world. And so are the professors. I really connected with the professors, and the fact that I had such a direct communication with all of my professors and I was always able to ask questions, they were always willing to help. So I think it's a really huge beneficial in terms of a small university. Okay, so now I'm gonna start with our brief explanation about the data science program. So the data science program is a new major that started off as a minor here at Clark, and luckily we, both demand and the growth of the department allowed it to become a major. So what is data when you guys think of data science? What is another synonym for data?
Information.
Right. So John Chambers, the former CEO of Cisco Systems, said that the second industrial revolution is information and data. And I think all of us can agree. I mean, the huge step that the humanity took in the past 2 years in terms of technology, unfortunately because of COVID, but it was due to come, right? I mean, the changes that we've been experiencing. I mean, I remember as a child, when we used to play with each other, we used to talk on the phone like this, mimic it. So now my small brother, he talks on the phone like that, So the changes are really big, and I think this program has a huge opportunity because it's interdisciplinary. So the program combines classes from econ, geography, computer science, math, business. So it's a really vast field with components, I think, that are applicable to many fields. You can go to business analytics, you can go to geography information systems. So it's really rich in terms of the directions that you can take it. And in my opinion, one of the most appealing things is that you really get the grounded and the really important skills of programming. I don't know, I mean, like I said, before coming to Clark, I had no connection to programming whatsoever. Now, after 4 years of being here, I feel like it's really an asset, you know, to any field that will go. I both majored photography, so I think that it's a huge asset to have, you know, even a basic knowledge of this, right? So like I said, you can major and minor. You can also do concentrations in many fields in the data science. I think there is, I'm blanking on the concentrations. 1 second. So, like I said, why data science? Because it's applicable to a huge variety of things. You can maximize a support network. You can maximize opportunities to graduate programs, both PhD and masters. I'm a master's of information technology currently here at Clark. It's a 5th-year program that is offered within the School of Professional Studies. And when I sit in my class, I really realize that a lot of my peers and classmates don't come from this background, and it's giving me a huge advantage both in the material and both in my ability to perform in a classroom setting and in my homework, exams, etc. So some of the projects that our alumni has done in moving on, and internships. So one of the things that my friends here touched about internships, I think that Clark has endless opportunities to intern. So it's really up to you. And like Jack said, in terms of, you know, managing and maneuvering work and studying. So I mean, all the classmates and friends that I know here both work in Clark or outside of Clark. So I would say that it's very manageable, and I think it also gives you a great way to pump your resume, and that's something that is very appealing to employers that are about to, you know, hire you. So I actually have a lot of friends that didn't particularly went to, you know, technical sides of either computer science and data science, but all the extracurricular, you know, they took a class in geography, they took a class in management, they took a class, I don't know, in photography, they took a class in studio art. Those are things that are very appealing, you know, because it references and it tells your employers that you are very broad in your thinking, in your interests. So those are things that are very appealing. I'm gonna hand it to my friend Dilasha. She's gonna talk about some of the alumni projects.
Okay, so like Evelyn mentioned, data is everywhere. So really here, the opportunities are endless, and the department is working day and night to make sure that you are connected very well to the opportunities and that you know how to connect to them and get to them and land them. Some of the examples here, as you can see with the slides that I'm going to show you, the opportunities that our students and alumni have had the opportunity to experience, they're really all over the board. They don't particularly have to be in the tech space. Archit Goyal, who graduated in 2021, he had an experience at Harvard Humanitarian Initiative, and this was more in the health tech space, where he helped to craft software to combat Ebola outbreaks. People who are interested in research, data is a core component of research, really in any field. We have Ava, who is graduating this year, and she is conducting a human-computer interaction research with Professor New here at Clark. And her research is tied to video sharing platforms like YouTube, and she's tying that to psychology. So that's another field that you can take on as well. Lastly, not the last example, but then the last I have, but Nipurna, also graduating this summer, it also had an experience as a computer science intern at Harvard Humanitarian Initiative, and he got to work on, this was in 2020, I believe, and this was when COVID was just picking up, and he got to work on the hot topic of the year, COVID-19, and he got to visualize new approaches to battle COVID-19. So as you can tell, everything that's really hot and happening throughout the year, data is always there to for in decision making, or even to research more about like what's going to happen in the future. Data is really helpful in that aspect as well, and really the positions that you can take on, the roles that you can take on by just declaring a major or minor in data science, or even just taking a data science course is very helpful. I can speak for myself. I'm going into product management, and although product management does not sound like data science, every product that is made by companies, it's data that decides what product is made. So it was very helpful to me to have any knowledge in data science. So there are many ways to connect with us. If you want to learn more about data science, the courses that we offer. Definitely want to talk about that.
Yes, so first we have our website, and we're also working right now on going full on with LinkedIn and Facebook and our Instagram page. So please feel free to reach out. I really want to add and clarify, this is a very down-to-earth setting. I know this is kind of weird, you're sitting there, I'm sitting here. I mean, I was a student up until last December, and I really, really, at all times, felt really comfortable to talk to my professors. Many of them have seen me cry. Like, really, this is a really supportive setting. They all are willing to help, and they will go with you over 100 times if you need something to be explained. And both the students, I mean, we see each other in classes and we hang out after classes. Like, it's a really, because the department is relatively small, then it allows that, you're able to be more connected and help each other, and it helps a lot. I feel like, I'm seeing so many new faces, and this is only because, we've been away for, almost 2 years, but the situation is completely different. We're very connected, we help each other. I'm not gonna say it's an easy major, but having this community has been worthwhile. So I highly recommend. Do you guys have any questions? Okay, I think that's all.